Namaste everyone. Let's start the class with a short prayer. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Okay. So, this class is mainly about, it's a prerequisite to start with Upanishad. So, from the next class, I'm going to start Katopanishad. So, it's a prerequisite to start with any Upanishad. So, in this class, we are going to see an introduction to Vedanta and introduction to Upanishads. So, we'll start the class now. In Vedanta, first we'll have to talk about pramana. Pramana means a source of knowledge. Source of knowledge means it's the means by which a person obtains knowledge. That is called as a pramana. And the next one is prama. Prama means the correct knowledge, the right knowledge which we need to gain. That correct knowledge is called as a prama. And pramata means the knower. For example, I am trying to learn about Upanishad. So I'll be called as a pramata, the knower, who's the subject. And what I am going to learn? Upanishad I am going to learn. So Upanishad is the object. That object is called as a prameya, the knowable. So pramana means the source of knowledge which a person obtain, and the second one, prama, means the right knowledge which one has to gain, and pramata means the knower, which is the subject, and prameya means the knowable, who is the object. So this is what it is. And these pramanas are of sixfold. So one is pratyaksha pramana, and the next one is anumana, and third one is shabda pramana, and fourth one is upamana, fifth one is arthapatti, sixth one is anupalabdhi. We'll see one by one. Pratyaksha pramana means it's a perceptual knowledge, which is a direct knowledge. Pratyaksha means direct knowledge. The knowledge through which we gain from all our five sense organs: eyes, ears, all these things, nose, smell, taste. So through our sense organs, what we experience, what we get directly through our five sense organs, that is called as a direct knowledge, which is a pratyaksha pramana. And the next one is anumana. Anumana means it's an inferential knowledge. The knowledge of an object I gain through my previous knowledge. Okay, this could be something, this could be object A, this could be object B. That anumana, that inferential knowledge is called as a anumana. And the third one is shabda pramana. Shabda pramana means it's a verbal statement from someone. It could be any trustworthy person. So I hear from someone. That hearing, that words or statement from someone is called as that knowledge what we gain is called as a shabda pramana. And upamana means comparison and analogy. I compare one object with another object, and I'll analyze, and I conclude, okay, this could be this thing. That comparison and that analogy is called as that knowledge is called as a upamana pramana. And the fifth one is arthapatti. Arthapatti means it's a basic common sense. No one will come and tell you, and you won't hear from someone, or you don't go and read in some text or some book. It's a basic common sense as per the circumstances which are happening day to day. So that common sense, that knowledge what we have there is Arthapatti. And the last one is Anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi means it's a non-perceptual knowledge. It's which is not existent and we got that knowledge. I'll give you an example. It's an indirect knowledge. In a classroom, a teacher is not there. The person itself is not there and you got that knowledge. Okay, teacher is not there in that classroom. So that knowledge with that cognitive proof which is not exist over there. That knowledge what you got is Anupalabdhi. So all these are the 6 pramanas. And the next one we need to talk about is Purushartha. Purushartha means it's a pursuit. Purushartha is nothing but a pursuit which is a aim of a human life. It is the aim of any human life. And Purusharthas are of 4 types. Artha Purushartha, Kama Purushartha, Dharma Purushartha, and the final one is Moksha. We'll see one by one. Artha Purushartha means it's a primary pursuit which has economic values like having material comfort, just like I'll do some job or I'll do some business and I'll earn money and then I have some bank balance and I live my life for my own benefit. That is called as a Artha Purushartha. And the next one is Kama Purushartha. Kama Purushartha means it's a worldly pleasures. The pleasures can be through affection with someone, with intimacy with someone, or through beauty, or it can be through love or art, or it can be movies or watching TV, or it can be any pleasure we get from some object or from someone, some person, or it can be through some other thing. That pleasure is called as a Kama Purushartha. Dharma Purushartha means it's a righteousness. Dharma means truth. It's a ethical way of living, I can say. Ethical way means being conscious of what I'm doing. That consciousness and being compassionate and helping others and being social and going in a righteous path, in a proper ethical way. That way of living is called as a Dharma Purushartha. And the last one is Moksha, which is the final pursuit. Moksha means liberation. It is being conscious and self-realization that I, the Atma, is nothing but Brahman. I am not limited. I am the limitless consciousness. And then the freedom from the bondage of samsara. Bondage of samsara means the bondage which we have from the people, from the objects, and through day to day life and death, and sukha, dukkha, that is happiness and sadness. All these mastery over all this, and then withdrawal from all these sense organs. The final pursuit, what we get is freedom from all this bondage of samsara. Going in a karma yoga attitude. Karma yoga attitude means accepting, that acceptance of everything whatever I get, whether I'm rich or poor, or whether I get happiness or sadness, everything is a grace of Ishvara. So that understanding and going in that way is called as a karma yoga attitude. So going in that karma yoga attitude, finally, and I gain moksha, which is a liberation. Moksha is the final pursuit. A human has to question himself what is beyond dharmartha kama, the dharma purushartha, kama purushartha, and artha purushartha. Beyond all these purusharthas, what is beyond these things? That question one has to get. then only he will go in a karma yoga attitude, and finally he attains moksha, which is the liberation, freedom from the bondage of samsara. So this is about the purushartha. And the next one we need to talk about is traya sharira. Traya means three, sharira means bodies. So the three bodies which we need to talk about. So they are traya sharira are stula sharira, sukshma sharira and karana sharira. Stula sharira means a gross body, sukshma sharira means a subtle body, and karana sharira means a casual body. So we'll see one by one now. First we'll take stula sharira, which is a gross body. It is made of earth or air, wind, fire and space. All this comes under the gross body, which is stula sharira. So which is temporarily visible and it is ever changing, and which we can experience in a waking state. This is called as a stula sharira. And coming to the sukshma sharira, which is our 5 sense organs and the knowledge and the prana, and it includes our memory and intellect and ego as well, which we can intensely experience in a dream state. That dream state, it is called as a sukshma sharira. The first one which we experience in a waking state, which is temporarily visible to all, and then which is a ever changing, that is a stula sharira. And whatever we experience in a dream state, that is our memory, intellect, ego, which intensely experience through all our sense organs, is called as a sukshma sharira. And the final one is karana sharira. Karana sharira means it's a casual body, which is not the self-evident, it is eternal, which is a seed form of subtle and casual body. This karana sharira is made of ignorance. Ignorance is nothing but avidya. This karana sharira, it can be experienced in a dreamless sleep state, which is not a self-evident, which is eternal. So this is what about traya sharira. Next we have to talk about is main qualifications of Vedanta pursuit. These are of fourfold, 4 main qualifications. One is viveka, second one is vairagya, third one is shamadhi shatka sampatti, and the last one is mumukshatvam. We'll take one by one. First one is viveka. Viveka means it's a discriminative understanding between what is real and what is unreal. I'll give you an example. Let's take a person who is standing on the road outside of his home, and a snake. He could able to see a snake moving beside him. And what he get? Obviously, he will get that restlessness, and he will get fear, and then he will get sorrow, right? He can't be happy in that moment. So because he saw a snake which is just beside him and no one is there to help him over there. So but the reality is that is not a snake, that is just a rope. Someone from some certain distance, they are moving that rope, but since that rope and snake both are almost similar, he superimposed, through his ignorance, he superimposed a snake on that rope. So that ignorance, that diluted mind he got because he thought he is a limited being, he is a limited conscious being. He don't have that analytical thinking, that what is real and what is unreal, he could not able to think. That is through because of his ignorance. So at that moment, what should happen? Whether he should have that capacity to think and analyze, or else if not, some learned person who has that discriminative capacity Some person has to come and then help him. That this is not a snake, this is just a rope. Then only his sorrow will be removed. He could be happy. If not, he will continue remain in the same sorrow and that restlessness. So coming to here. So Viveka means that a discriminative understanding between what is real and what is unreal that one should have. This is of a primary pursuit. Primary qualification to go in a Vedanta pursuit. And the next qualification is Vairagya. Vairagya means it's a dispassion towards worldly pleasures. Pleasure means, just some time back only I have spoke about this. Pleasure can be through any person or through any object, or it can be through movies or intimacy or love, affection, and this bondage. All these things, the pleasure what we get from any object or any person or some with that some certain gadget, or it could be anything. So dispassion towards all these worldly pleasures, that is called as a Vairagya. And the third qualification is Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, it's of sixfold inner wealth. It's an inner wealth which is of sixfold. Those six are Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha, and Samadhanam. We'll see one by one. Shama means mastery over mind. So our mind should listen what we say, but it should not happen vice versa. Whatever we say, our mind has to listen and then act on it. Then only we will get that mastery of mind. We'll do right actions. But if vice versa happen, then it is like we are just a robot. We are not an actual human being. So we should gain that mastery of mind. That is called as a Shama. The second one is Dhamma. Dhamma means mastery over sense organs. We have that 5 sense organs, right? That eyes, ears, and sense, taste, and touch. All this mastery over all these sense organs is called as a Dhamma. And next one is Titiksha. Titiksha means it's a forbearance. We should be able to bear if we get any trouble, or if we get any some tough situation or any kind of situation. We should be able to come across from that trouble, and we should be able to proceed further and succeed in our life. That capability, that willpower, that forbearance one should have, one should gain. That is called as a Titiksha. And the fourth one is Uparati. Uparati means withdrawal from sense organs. Withdrawal from sense organs means it can be like, for example, let's take an example. So a person, I want only that kind of dress I want to wear, and that kind of jewelry I want, and then only I'll be happy. I want this type of gadgets, all these things. I want this person to be with me, then only I can lead my life. So all these withdrawal from all these sense organs. So whatever we get, everything, we should not have that what we say, that attachment or some liking towards some object or any person. So that everything withdrawal from that sense objects, it can be object or any person or something, that withdrawalness is called as a Uparati. And the next one is Shraddha. Shraddha, this everyone could be knowing. So Shraddha means which is a focus and commitment. It can be through towards Shastra, or it can be through your books as well. For example, I'm going to study Upanishad. Right now I'm studying Upanishad. So what I should have? First I should have that complete focus and commitment I should put towards that Upanishad. If not, without that focus and commitment, even though I listen to n number of classes of my teacher, it's of no use, right? that complete focus and commitment should be there for me. So that is called as a Shraddha. And Samadhanam means it's a faith, trust. I'm learning Upanishad, I should have that trust towards what Shastra says and what my Guru is saying, that my teacher's words. Without the trust, so I can't able to gain knowledge, right? So that is called as a Samadhanam. So all these are the Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, which is Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uparati, Shraddha and Samadhana, which are the main sixfold inner wealth. So currently we are in four main qualifications of Vedanta pursuit. We have seen Viveka, we have spoken about Vairagya, and we have also seen Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti. And the fourth one, the final qualification is Mumukshatvam. Mumukshatvam, which is the desire for liberation. Desire for liberation means desire for gaining moksha, which is a freedom from the bondage of samsara. Bondage of samsara means sukha dukkha, life and death, happiness and sadness, and affection, love, hatred towards objects and everything. So liberation from all these, freedom from all this bondage of samsara is nothing but mumukshatvam. So these are the four main qualifications of Vedanta pursuit. Now we need to talk about is three pillars of Vedantic practice. Those pillars are Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. We'll see one by one. Shravana means what we hear, hearing the truth. This hearing is of two kinds. One is hearing about the things in this world, and hearing of beyond this world, that is, which is outside the world. First we will see the hearing in this world. This hearing includes our mind, our ears and our intellect. All these three things are involved: our ears, mind and intellect. It defines our relationship within this world, the day-to-day happenings and everything, whatever we could see and analyze, all these things, whatever we experience. The things which is in this world, that hearing, it is of one kind. The other kind is which is beyond this world. Means it could be Svargaloka and about heaven and Naraka. So all these things we hear from someone about that outside world, which is the Svarga and Naraka. So that hearing is the of second kind. In the first hearing, our ears, mind and intellect are involved. And in the second hearing means which is outside the world. In that hearing, our heart and being are involved. So Shravana means hearing the truth of two kinds of hearing, about this world and outside the world. This is about Shravana. And the second one is Manana. Manana means it's a contemplation of the truth. So after hearing something, I have to analyze, right? I should be capable to analyze it. If I just hear something from one ear and then remove from another ear, it is of no use of that hearing, right? So I should be able to analyze it. For example, I'll take my example. I'm learning Upanishad. So I hear the Shastra from my Guru, my teacher. And then after hearing, what I should do, I should be able to analyze, okay, this is what it means. And this is how it means. That what, how, why, all these questions I should get. And I should be able to analyze it, what my Guru is saying and what Shastra is saying. Then only I have a proper, I can gain proper understanding. If not, this is of no use. So that analysis, that analytical thinking is called as a Manana. And the third one is Nididhyasana. So this could happen, it's a result of Shravana and Manana. So after hearing from the Shastra from my Guru, who is my teacher, and I did my analysis, that which is Manana. I did that Manana as well. So after that, what I should do? I should be able to implement it. I should be able to practice it in my day-to-day life. Then only it have a proper meaning. If I just hear and then analyze it, then it's like a partial thing, right? So I should be able to give a complete justice of my teacher's words and what Shastra is saying. So that means I should be able to implement it in my day-to-day life. That is called as a Nididhyasana. So all these three, Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana, are the three main pillars of Vedantic practice. Next we need to talk about is Anubandha Chatushtayam. Anubandha Chatushtayam means it's any book, or any book means it could be a text of any Upanishad or any about Vedanta, or it can be any book. It can be your whatever you are going to study also. So it could be that book as well. A text or any book should satisfy 4 qualifications. Those qualifications are Vishayam, Prayojanam, Adhikari and Sambandha. These are the 4 main qualifications a book or any text should satisfy. We'll see one by one. First one is Vishayam. Vishayam means meaningful subject matter. For example, I am going to write a book and then I am going to publish it. What I am going to write in that book, I should have some matter, that subject matter. What is the subject? For which subject I am going to write that book? That let's take, I am going to write a book on Katopanishad. So what is the subject matter here? That Katopanishad, that Upanishad I am going to write in that book. That is called as a subject matter. So that is the Vishayam. And the next qualification is Prayojanam. Prayojanam means a main purpose. What is the main purpose of writing that book? So I am trying to write about Katopanishad. What is the main purpose of my writing of Katopanishad? I want to share my knowledge to the audience, the wider audience. That's why I'm going to write and then publish it. Simply, I can't simply for my sake, I can't simply write and keep it for myself, right? There should be a proper purpose. So I want to share my knowledge to the wider audience. That's why I'm writing that book. That is called as a purpose, main purpose, which is the Prayojanam. And the third one is Adhikari. Adhikaritva means Yogyata. Yogyata means it's a eligibility criteria. So who is the audience for my book? I'm writing a Upanishad book. I can't share it to kids, right? Who is just immature, who is still a kid. So there should be a proper yogyata. Yogyata means an eligible person who is matured enough to understand my text, who has that. I'm going to write in English. That Upanishad commentary I'm going to write in English. So the qualified person, who is the qualified person who is matured enough to understand whatever I'm going to write, and who knows English properly, and who want to go towards Vedantic pursuit. So only that person will read my book, and he has that eligibility criteria to read my book. Simply I can't share it to some kid or someone, right, who don't know anything. So that is called as a Adhikaritvam, which is the Yogyata eligibility criteria. And the fourth one is Sambandha. Sambandha means relationship between Shastra and Vishaya. Relationship between Shastra means what I am going to write, that text, and what is the main subject matter. What is the main subject matter and whether is it as per the Shastra or not. That relationship should be there for that book. So any book or text should satisfy all these four qualifications: Vishayam, Prayojanam, Adhikari and Sambandha. So these four qualifications are called Anubandha Chatushtayam. Now this is what about Vedanta, introduction to Vedanta. Now we'll start with the Upanishad introduction. We'll see a few main things about Upanishad. So before going to see about Upanishads, we need to talk about Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya wrote Bhashyam. Bhashyam means it's a commentary about mantras, and a commentary means it's a detailed word to word. So Upanishads and all these texts will be in a Sanskrit, right? So for each and every Sanskrit word, he wrote Bhashyam means commentary, a detailed explanation. Mantras will be in 2 lines or 3 lines. Each mantra will be hardly, maximum it could be 4 or 5 lines, right? So he wrote that a detailed commentary of each and every word of that mantra. So Shankaracharya wrote that commentary. That commentary is called as a Bhashyam. He wrote that commentary for 10 10 major Upanishads. He wrote Bhashyam. And also he wrote commentary for the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has got 18 chapters, right? So in that 18 chapters, Shankaracharya wrote commentary from 2nd chapter 11th shloka till 18th chapter end. He wrote all the commentary for all these shlokas in Bhagavad Gita. And he also wrote Bhashyam, which is commentary for Brahma Sutras as well. And he also wrote Prakarna Grantha. Prakarna Grantha he actually wrote. He is the main author. So that's why he did not write commentary. Why? Because it is his text. So how can he give a commentary for his text, right? Someone who has a proper understanding, he should come and then write that commentary. He can't give commentary for his text only, right? So that's why he wrote this Prakarna Grantha. He is the main author. So that's why he did not write commentary for this. And he also wrote Dakshinamurti Stotram. Means Dakshinamurti means he is a one form of Lord Shiva. So it is very complicated. That Stotram, Dakshinamurti Stotram is very complicated. So he wrote Bhashyam for that Stotram as well. And Upadesha Sahasri as well he wrote. So he also wrote complicated Dakshinamurti Stotram and Upadesha Sahasri. These are also one of the texts. Now we'll see about Upanishad. The word Upanishad, Upa means near. Near means it is not far, it is very near to you. And Ni, Upa, Ni, Shad. Ni means certainly, surely, Nishayam. All these are the meanings of the word Ni. And Shad means it's a that performs an action, who is the destroyer of our ignorance. It is called as a Shad. So the word Upanishad means if you come near to that text, it will destroy your ignorance. It will remove your ignorance. That is what it means. Upanishad means your ignorance will go away. And then Vedanta is divided into Prasthanatrayam. Trayam means 3. So Vedanta is divided into 3 prasthanas, which means it's an expressive way. Prasthanatrayam means it's an expressive way. So what are those 3 prasthanas? One is Upanishad prasthana, which is Shruti prasthana. And second one is Brahma Sutra, which is also a Shruti prasthana. And third one is Bhagavad Gita, which is a Smriti prasthana. There are 2 types here, Shruti prasthana and Smriti prasthana. So Vedas and Upanishads are called as a Shruti Prasthanas. Bhagavad Gita and Puranas are Smriti Prasthanas. Now we'll see one by one. First we'll see about Upanishad. So as I said earlier, Shankaracharya commented means Bhashyam. He wrote Bhashyam for 10 major or popular Upanishad. So those 10 major Upanishads are Ishavasya Upanishad, Kenopanishad, Katopanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Taittareya Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and Chandogya Upanishad. So all these are the 10 major or popular Upanishads which Shankaracharya has commented upon. Means he wrote Bhashyam for all these Upanishads. Among all these 10 Upanishads, we have taken one Upanishad which is our Katopanishad, which I am going to start from my next class. So, and it means each mala, any mala if you can take, each mala has got 108 beads will be there if you can able to count. Each mala has 108 beads. So that's why Upanishads also, there are many Upanishads, but these are collected as a 108 in number. These are just collected as 108 in number, but there are many Upanishads, more than 108 is there. And the shortest Upanishad is identified as Kenopanishad, and the biggest Upanishad is Brihadaranyaka. So this is about Upanishads. And coming to Brahma Sutra, there is a long way to go and then read about that, to know about that. So as of now, just know Brahma Sutra is also a Shruti Prasthana. And the third one is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, which is a Smriti Prasthana. Bhagavad Gita summarizes or entire teaching of Upanishads. How many? We have multiple Upanishads, right? Major ones are 10, I told you. And there are also some other Upanishads also there. So, this Bhagavad Gita summarizes the entire teaching of all Upanishads. And there are another 6 Upanishads which are quoted by Shankaracharya in Brahma Sutras. In Brahma Sutras, there are also another 6 Upanishads which he quoted, which it means which he commented upon. And next one we need to talk about is Vijnanam. Vijnanam means it's a group of words which gives knowledge, is called as a Vijnanam. Which gives you knowledge, that group of words is called as a Vijnanam. And this Pramanam and Vedas, all these are the means to gain knowledge. These are just the means which a person can obtain knowledge. Knowledge means Vijnanam. And next we need to talk about is Bhuta Bhautika Vijnanam. Bhautika Vijnanam means from various materials which are available in this world. Any materials which are various materials which are available in this world, through which we can gain knowledge, right? That knowledge is called as a Bhautika Vijnanam. And Bhuta means the materials that are derived from this. The materials which are derived from all these things is called as a Bhuta. So a human body also comes from Bhuta Bhautika Vijnanam. Which means Bhuta Bhautika means it's a Jadatvam. Jadatvam means it's an insentient. It starts and ends with insentientness only. It can't know itself and it can't know others also. It's an insentient. That is called as a Bhuta Bhautika Vijnana. And this Vijnanam means it's a knowledge which is having two forms, Sthula Buddhi and Sukshma Buddhi. I already discussed about gross and settled bodies, right? So here Sthula Buddhi is nothing but a gross intellect, and Sukshma Buddhi is called as a subtle intellect. The knowledge that is taught in Vedas is called Atindriya Gnanam. Atindriya means beyond. It is beyond the scope of our five senses, our five sense organs. That's why it is called as Atindriya Gnanam, the knowledge that is taught in Vedas, which is Atindriya Gnanam. And the two pramanas, what we have already discussed, the two pramanas which are Pratyaksha Pramana and Anumana gives only Bhuta Bhautika Vijnanam. And these Vedas, the Vedas will give the knowledge which can't be gained from Pratyaksha and Anumana Pramanas. It gives that knowledge. That's why we have to study Vedas. And these Vedas have three divisions. One is Karma Kanda, second one is Gnana Kanda, and third one is Upasana Kanda. It is having three divisions. We'll see one by one. Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda it talks about what to be done and what not to be done. That do's and don'ts it will talk about. Which means Vidhi Pratisheda and Nisheda. These are the Sanskrit words. What to do means Vidhi Pratisheda. What not to do means Nisheda. So Karmakanda talks about Vidhi Pratisheda and Nisheda, which are do's and don'ts. Here in Karmakanda, the destroyer of our ignorance is karma. Karma means action. So in Karma Kanda, our karma karma removes our ignorance. And coming to the Gnana Kanda, which is the second division, it means Gnana Vijnana Vibhaga. Gnana Kanda means Gnana Vijnana Vibhaga, which means Vedanta. Vedanta means which is the Tatparyam. Tatparyam means the summary. And this Vedanta and Tatparyam, which is called as Upanishad, is described by Shankaracharya. So in Gnanakanda means Gnana Vijnana Vibhaga, which is nothing but a Vedanta, Tatparyam, which is nothing but a Upanishad, described by Shankaracharya. In Gnanakanda, the destroyer is Gnanam. So here knowledge which is Gnanam, it removes our ignorance. So here destroyer is Gnanam. In Karmakanda, what we said, the destroyer is Karma in Karmakanda. In Gnanakanda, the destroyer of our ignorance is Gnanam. Gnanam means the truth, what you realize. It will destroy our ignorance. That's what it means. And Katopanishad, which we are going to see from our next class. So Katopanishad comes under Gnanakanda. So this is about Karmakanda and Gnanakanda. Now we'll come to the third division, which is the Upasanakanda. In Upasanakanda, the destroyer of our ignorance is Upasana, which means a meditation or continuously thinking about something. So that is called as a Upasanakanda. So here our Upasana will destroy our ignorance. This is what about three divisions of Vedas. Now we'll talk about Krishna Dvaipayana, who is our Vedavyasa. Krishna Dvaipayana, he was born and living in an island, who is currently he is called as a Vedavyasa. Actually, he was called as a Krishna Dvaipayana or a Vyasa. He is not the author of the Vedas, but he edited the Vedas. Whatever the Vedas are present, he edited it in such a beautiful manner that one can enjoy reading it. So if you come and then study Shastra, that Vedas, it will be very interesting and very inspiring. So you want to learn and gain more and more knowledge. So Vedavyasa edited it such a beautiful manner, one can enjoy reading it. So that's why Vyasa, that Vyasa Maharshi is labeled as Vedavyasa. Why? Because he edited all the mantras very beautifully, all the four Vedas. So what we have, the Vedas are four in number: Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. So he edited all these Veda mantras. And Rig Veda, the mantras which are in Rig Veda are having a fixed meter. It has a certain fixed meter. All the mantras will be of having a fixed meter, and it will be in a poetic format. And in Yajurveda, all the mantras will be in a prose format. And coming to Samaveda, Samaveda means the mantras which we are actually singing. So that is called as Samaveda, and we have Atharva Veda, the fourth one. And we'll see an introduction to Katopanishad. Vedavyasa taught Yajurveda to one Maharshi, who is a Vaishampayana, whose name is Vaishampayana. So Vedavyasa taught Yajurveda to Vaishampayana Maharshi. And what Vaishampayana Maharshi did? He also taught that Yajurveda to Katha Maharshi, whose name is Katha. So Vedavyasa taught Yajurveda to Vaishampayana, and then Vaishampayana also taught his knowledge to Katha Maharshi. And what Katha Maharshi did? He also taught the same knowledge, he gave it to some Indian students who are called as Kataha. Kataha means the students which he shared his knowledge. Katha Maharshi shared the knowledge to few Indian students. Those are called as Kataha. So that's why this Upanishad is named as a Katopanishad. Katopanishad or Katopanishad. We can say in both ways. So first Vedavyasa shared that knowledge to Vaishampayana Maharshi, and Vaishampayana Maharshi shared his knowledge to Katha Maharshi, and again Katha Maharshi shared it to Indian students who's called as a Kataha. That's why this Upanishad is named as a Katopanishad or Katopanishad. And each person, any human being, has got 12 tattvas. What are those 12 tattvas? It means 5 karmendriyas and 5 gnanendriyas, which are 5 sense organs, and 5 actions, sense of actions, and 1 antakaranam and 1 atma, which is also called as a chaitanya. So each person has got 12 tattvas: 5 karmendriyas, 5 gnanendriyas, 1 anthakarana, and 1 atma. So all these 12 tattvas are centered on Hridaya. Hridaya means heart. So Katopanishad is called as a 12th tattva, which is centered on Hridaya, right? Hridaya means heart. That's why this Katopanishad is called as a Hridaya Upanishad. This is another name of Katopanishad. And one inspiring thing about Katopanishad is, in each and every village Katopanishad is being taught. So that's why you can imagine how popular it is, right? So Katopanishad is very necessary to learn. And when Shankaracharya was in schooling, when he was in his schooling, he has seen a skit. Shankaracharya has seen a skit who was performed by high school students, that is 8th to 12th standard students. He has seen a skit. Then he was very much inspired by that skit, and later when he started going in a Vedanta pursuit and after he took sannyasa diksha, he wrote Bhashyam, which is a commentary for Katopanishad. So this is the main reason. So he has seen a skit who has performed by that high school students in his schooling. So he got very much impressed and inspired by that skit. And after he went in a Vedanta practice and he took a sannyasa diksha, and then he wrote Bhashyam for Katopanishad. In Krishna Yajurveda, we have seen all the 4 Vedas, right? So in Krishna Yajurveda, the most popular branch is Taittiriya Shaka, and it is written by a rishi named Taittiri. That's why it is called as a Taittiriya Shaka. And one more branch is Kata Shaka. Kata Shaka. That's why our Upanishad name is called as a Katha or Katopanishad. Swarupa, the word Swarupa means it's a nature of Atma, nature of oneself or Atma. We will know the nature of Atma only by approaching a proper Guru who is a teacher. The teacher could be, that Guru is who has the complete knowledge of Shastra and who is going in a Karma Yoga attitude. So that person is called as a Guru. One should able to identify that Guru, and one should approach that Guru with a complete Shraddha and Bhakti in him, and student, that person who is desiring for moksha, that person should approach that Guru with a complete Shraddha and Bhakti in him, and by surrendering to him completely. And he should have that trust and interest towards that Shraddha and Bhakti he should have in the spiritual text and also towards the Guru. Then only he can gain the knowledge, and then he can go in a finally he can gain moksha, which is the liberation, which is the freedom from bondage of samsara. And here Adi Shankaracharya is another form of Lord Shiva. So we are done with the class. So today we have seen the basic things, whatever things are necessary to start with the Upanishad. The basic things of Vedanta and Upanishads we have seen. So from the next class, we are going to start Katopanishad. So thank you all for joining. We'll close this class with a closing prayer. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all. We'll meet you in the next class.